I have been allotted about 30 minutes, so I'm going to just keep the momentum going. Humble request, if there is any questions, probably we can line it up post Tilai making a presentation. I mean, it's also a challenge for me to maintain the momentum into an emo which Tilai maintains naturally. So being a speaker before him is, something which needs to come by. You can expect more from an accountant like me on this front. So the topic which I have been given straight away is role of CFO. So I'm not going to tell you what a CFO should be naturally be doing, but we have a survey which was conducted 6 months back. I'm going to throw you the findings of that particular survey. ESOP scheme, how it is to be drafted, what are the points to be taken. So I'm going to touch few on the basic sides of it, as well as take you on the complex related side in terms of framing it, and then information deck, what are the areas which it should contain. Just to quick start straight away, can a company do without a CFO? Was first basic question which was asked from. 63% said no. I'm still surprised with the 37% people who said yes, they can still do without a CFO. According to me, it's next to impossible. I mean, these were early stage startups who felt that might not require in the initial few 6 months, 1 year time, and hence felt that at a later stage a CFO roles come in. How many CFOs feel that business has evolved in last 10 years, but the role continues to be the same? I mean, this is dangerous according to me, because they think that business has evolved as such to a greater extent, but the role still continues to be the same. So almost 72% people, CFOs, feel that yes, their role still continues to be same in terms of treasury management and stuff, but there are 28% who still feel that they have to adopt with the new related role. So why at all a full-time CFO who is required? I mean, what role does he play? It becomes easy for an organization to make quick decision-making process, decipher evolving rules and regulations. I mean, this is becoming very crucial and critical in the last 3 years. We have seen a lot of new rules and regulations coming in, which is very, very difficult for a normal person to, decipher it and apply the same. Each of the industries have their own challenges, tech-related, e-commerce related, NBFC related. We're seeing a lot of day in, day out regulations coming from RBI and this front. It's very important that a CFO, quickly reads it, understands it, and applies it. Full-time management of risk and control along with business. This again becoming very, very important. You need to manage the risk which a business brings in on a day-on-day basis. An industry-specific CFO can later grow into a CEO. So we have seen an examples. Pfizer, Siemens, TCS, Rajesh moved from CFO to CEO. So a lot of them have moved that particular role, so it becomes easy. Traditionally, if you look like a role of CFO 5 years back, he used to play the treasury management role and to some extent the statutory compliances role. I think gone are those days where only these two areas is to be covered by a CFO related. There's a lot which has evolved. I mean, he is expected to take part in the strategic decisions a company makes. So which is becoming very, very important. The board expects, the shareholder expects him to add value on the decisions, make the decisions very easy. I mean, whether to go ahead or not to go ahead, what is the returns being expected by the investor. So that becomes very, very important. He has to support on your deal and valuation as well, which was not expected of him. But with the days which it is going by, he is expected to be on hands when it comes to all your deal supporting in terms of legal, SEBI, compliances, stock exchange, everyone he is supposed to handle it. Treasury management, needless to say, it's going to come in. Interdepartment coordination is something which is again playing a lot of role. I mean, one of our surveys, which I'm going to show you in the next, the lot on the intercompany coordination and inter-team coordinations as well, where he has to coordinate with the management related side of it, marketing, sales, collection team. So a lot which role needs to be played by the CFO. Risk management is expected. Geography synergies is also becoming difficult. There are companies which are located at multi-locations related. So a CFO needs to put in same level of rules, regulations, the formats and other things at place, so that at the end of the year, the consolidation process becomes easier. Statutory compliances, yes. What are the biggest barriers to effectiveness in the role of CFO? So when we asked them, they said that, look, lack of experience is becoming very difficult. They don't have that much experience where a full-time CFO should be naturally doing. Personal skill gaps happens. I mean, if you're coming from a different multi-states related, there will be a skill gap. End of the day, that does not matter much. unrealistic, over-ambitious target, which is very, very, again, crucial because they are being given targets and the time frame is also very limited for him to prove. It's a very, very fast evolving world where deals are happening in days. So he can't be taking his own set of time to come deliver it back. So again, over-ambitious targets are given. Relationship with senior managers outside finances again becoming. The organizational culture, the intercompany department relationship, so whatever he's saying has to be again, understood in the same language, way, format by the other teams, marketing, collection, sales team. So everyone have to be on the same page. That is again becoming one of the major hindrances for a CFO to effectively deliver. How do CFOs measure their own performance? Now this is interesting. So if you see, there are people who said that my personal remuneration is increasing and hence I believe that I've performed better. There are people who feel that personal reputation of him is again one of the factors. So if his personal reputation is increasing, he feels that yes, organization as well as he has performed. There's an organization reputation close to about 15% who believe that yes, if organization reputation in the market is increasing, naturally me as a CFO has performed on a better role. This is very important. Again, importance in the organization financial metrics, revenue, profit. Ultimately, end of the day, you are judged on the fact that how much you have been able to deliver both in terms of revenue, profit, as well as investor return which you have given. Why do CFOs believe they personally created the most value for their organization in the past 3 years? Delivering significant cost efficiencies, close to about 20% felt that they have delivered significant cost efficiencies and hence they are able to value their organization in the proper way. Strategic analysis and advice to management, 14%. Enhancing and assuring risk management, I think this is very crucial. CFOs need to realize this should move in the top 2 according to me. What is very interesting is look this, improving investor returns. Only 4% believe that improving investor return has, they have not actually delivered and created value in it. So end of the day, this naturally matters. Organization needs to make revenue, they need to collect profits, they need to pay their salaries, they need to create the value for their investors who have invested in the company. Only hardly 4% of people who believe that they have, created that particular value. What are the industries that hire CFO for their operations? There's a time and again tested concept where a particular industry feels that they don't require a CFO related. I believe that at this point of time, any industry for that matter requires a CFO. You need to have, name me any industry, I'll tell you why a CFO is required and what role he can play in that particular industry as such. Financial services, needless to say. I mean, BFSI naturally needs to have a CFO because of an ever-changing rules and regulations which is happening in this particular sector. Real estate, because of home buyers, RERA coming into picture, a lot of deciphering needs to be done in that front. Consumer products, 10% technology, 10% government, diversified industrial. I mean, majority of them agree that in all the industries you require a CFO to be there. What is the length of tenure in an organization that is ideal? According to me, 4 to 5 years is required because then only will be able to deliver in the target in which he have been given. How many CFOs aspire to become CEOs in future? Happy to stay in current post. I mean, they just don't want to move their, from their seat. They are pretty much happy and where they are. A bigger role is required. They might be a CFO in a subsidiary company. They might say that yes, I want to get promoted to the main related company. Chief Executive Officer, only hardly 12% fee. Chief Operation Officer, Non-Executive Director, Chairman, pretty much small on that. Concept of virtual CFO is picking up at a lot of pace. The reason is this. They are startups, they are mid-sized companies, and they hire a full-time CFO. It's going to cost them a bomb, 1 lakh to 1.2 lakhs per month. And plus that particular CFO might not be able to bring value addition if he is handling just one particular industry. So say if CFO has been there, he has been handling and been in one particular industry and is coming to your startup, might not be able to give you an expertise or an overview idea of multiple industries. So this is pretty much required where a CFO, virtual CFO comes into picture. He does not participate on a day in, day out activity. And I'm virtual CFO for 6-7 companies. I really don't participate on a day in, day out related activities of company. I don't take care of treasury management. So when I say I don't take care of treasury management, anything on a day in, day out in terms of making payments and other things, Apart from the fact that I just authorize it, I don't get involved on the ground level related side of it. This again, he dons multiple hats, brings experience from various industries, is cost efficient. It charges 50,000 to 60,000 to have a virtual CFO on a month, plus the perks which he gets in terms of the stakeholding in the particular company. There's a conflict of interest between clients. So if you're in one particular and you have your competitor, and if I'm a virtual CFO in that particular competitor player as well, there's a conflict of interest which is naturally going to come up. Confidentiality of work, pretty much very important. I mean, you need to make sure that whomever you're hiring, you have a very, very strong NDA being signed with him so that none of the information is going out from your company to the other party, which is again gaining a lot of traction because many of these startups are patent protected, trademark, copyright, and it's important to protect the information. Lack of personal relationship, we meet once in a week, we meet once in 15 days just to take care of everything as an action or not. No day in, day out, hi, hello reaction kind of stuff being done. Ending up on the virtual CFO side, does AI, blockchain, robotic process automation remove the role of CFOs or will remove the role of CFO in coming year? I'm surprised there are 16% people who have still said yes to it, but more or less majority agree that yes, no one can do this. ESOP related side of it. I mean, the concept of ESOP came in 1956 where, we used to see a lot of Tamil movies which shows that there's a day in day out union lockout whenever there's an issue which happens. And companies were fed up with this particular problem of union lockout which used to happen for some salary. The idea which they proposed was, why don't we make employee as part of our company by making them a shareholder? Let us give them some stake. Naturally, if they are going to be a lockout, the company is going to lose, their stake is also going to fall down. Plus a sense of entitlement for them that yes, they are part of this particular company, not as an employee, as a shareholder. I'm pretty sure that each one of you would have heard the case of Flipkart when one of the oldest employee 12 years back joined as a sweeper first, then became a delivery boy, then went on to become the VP for delivery related side of it. So starting from earning 8,000 rupees, he went up to 6 lakhs and he's valued more than 250 CR. So that is the value of ESOP which one is giving when stake sale happen. I mean, it can't be applicable for all the cases, but the importance of it is picking up because close to about 93% of listed company at this point of time follow ESOP. It's the unlisted company where 27% of the unlisted company are following it. Importance of it is very, very picking up because these days youngsters come, they want to try out something new, be part of a particular organization for 1 year, 2 years, move on. So if you have to grab them, have them on your platform, on your company related, you need to incentivize them. Also the fact, say why at all ESOP again. So if you feel that a particular startup, is able to pay a particular employee only 30,000 rupees, whereas he is worth 60,000, 70,000, and you feel that he's been, losing close to about 30,000 every month, in a year that works out to be 3.6 lakh, and you feel he's going to be there with me for 3 years. So roughly you feel this particular employee is going to lose 10 lakhs in terms of not moving to another company. How do you incentivize this? The only option is ESOP. So you give him ESOPs worth that much, thinking that yes, 10 lakhs is the amount which he is going to lose, plus the annual increment, plus being part of that particular company. If something good happens in terms of stake sale and other things, he should be rewarded accordingly. That's how ESOP came into picture. What is ESOP? It's a right, a choice, not an obligation. So from the employer point of view, I'm giving you an option. You can be part of my shareholder list after 2 years or 3 years. For an employee, it's not again an obligation. If he wants to subscribe to that particular shares, if he wants to exercise to those shares, he can exercise it. Each option converts into one or more equity shares to buy shares of the company at a future date. So it's an option being given as on today, subject to conditions. If you fulfill or if the company fulfills, you will be allotted that particular ESOP at a price which is fixed today. So an exercise price, say the company's current value is 50 rupees. And you think that, okay, somewhere 2 years, 3 years down the line, my company will be valued at 200 rupees per share. So I tell the employee that today at 50 rupees, I'm giving you this particular grant, which will vest after 3 years at the same 50 rupees when I'll be valued at 200 or 300 rupees. So you're getting a straight away benefit of 200, 250 rupees on that particular ESOP related side. Exercise price remains fixed even if the market price goes up into future. Employee would pay only if the market price is attractive, not otherwise. I've given you an ESOP for 50 rupees. The company closes down or is on the verge of closing, and if the value of that particular ESOP is only 10 rupees, I'm not going to exercise it. I'm not going to pay you 50 rupees and then get back 10 rupees related to it. So there are two plans, the employee stock option plan and employee share purchase scheme, ESPS, which is nothing but you're just giving the employee upfront shares to him at a predetermined price. So on day one, if you're giving him 10,000 shares at 10 rupees, you're straight away getting in your bank account 1 lakh rupee, and employee is part on day one of that particular, shares being given to him. The employee stock option plan has three types of things. The restricted stock units, RSU, phantom stocks, and stock appreciation right. RSU I'll be covering in the next few rights. Okay, let me say. So RSU is nothing but your basic ESOP, which I have explained you at this point of time. Phantom stocks is nothing but an option. Again, say 5,000 shares are there, and I'm telling an employee saying that this 5,000 shares at 50 rupees, which I'm giving you now, will become 200 rupees at 2 years, 3 years down the line. I'm not going to allot you shares. So this option alone, you can probably, whatever is the value of the different. So the underlying over here is share. 5,000 option at 250 rupees, I'm going to pay you 3 years down the line. I'm not going to give him the shares related to at that point of time. Stock appreciation right is a combination of RSU as well as phantom stock. If I tell him of 5,000 option which I'm giving you, 2,500 I'm going to give you as shares, 2,500 I'm just going to give you as options, which you can convert and pay it off. So it's a combination which is being played. Important terms which you will be naturally aware of, I'm just repeating it for sake of. Grant is the date in which he receives the right. Vesting is the period during which he earns that right. Exercise is when he exercises that particular right. And sale, subsequently, he makes the sale of that particular. So this is very important to understand each of this term: grant, vest, exercise, and sale. Now, how is an ESOP being decided? I have put up just the important points overhead for you. I'm not getting too much into detail in this regards. What is the objective of ESOP? First and crucial objective, you want to reward someone for his past association in your company, or you want to reward for his past performance. So he might be there with you for 10 years, but he has not performed, but still you would like to, since he has been associated with you. Or you want to reward for future performance, where you believe that that particular employee will perform, and hence I am giving him an ESOP. So this objective is very, very important for you to frame, because that objective will decide all the other points related to this. Coverage, you can have a broad-based coverage or a selective subsidiary. So you can cover all your employees, or you can cover a selected set of employees as well. So it's not necessary that ESOP should be for everyone related to this. Compensation policy, it's more of a compensation policy, like an example which I gave you, is worth 60,000, but you are paying him only 30,000. So balance related to this particular compensation policy, you are taking care. Currency for hiring is there. Say if your employee is there in Philippines, Thailand, Singapore, there's a currency fluctuation which will come up. So if you're predicting that India's currency is going to depreciate, you are factoring that particular aspect as well while putting into this. Pricing, there are two types of pricing. One is the market value pricing and another is the discount related. Market value is nothing but you're saying my shares are worth 100 rupees as on date. I'm going to give you the exercise price as 100 itself. So as my market price increases from 100 to 120, naturally my exercise price will also continue to remain the same, but I'll get the profit for 20. Discount, my market price is 100. I tell you that yes, I'm going to give you the ESOP at 60 rupees or 70 rupees. So upfront I'm giving him that particular treatment possible. Quantum, principle of adequacy and attractiveness. Do you want to give 5,000 shares? Do you want to give 5% related to company? A lot of factors which you need to consider in, and I'll tell you why it is important. Say the percentage of allocation. We have seen in the past, clients making a mistake, saying that they want to give 5% of their capital as ESOP. So it's an open-end related side of it. So as on day, say if they have 1 lakh shares and multiplied by 10, they have the total capital as 10 lakh. And they say if I want to give 5%, which is nothing but they have decided 50,000 worth of benefits they are going to give to employees. Now what happens? During the next 2 years or 3 years, if you have got further infusion of capital from someone, if your capital jumps from 10 lakhs to say 1 crore or 2 crore or 5 crore, if you are having this 5% as open, So naturally after 2 years, he'll get 5% of 2 crores. So you're giving him a higher benefit related to it. The second way of working is this. I say, I'll give you 5,000 shares as ESOP. So whether you have 10,000 shares now, or you have 1 lakh shares, or you have 10 lakh shares after 2 years, he'll still continue to get only 5,000 shares related to this. So this is very, very important while framing the ESOP policy on how much benefit you want to give and how do you quantify this particular benefit being given. Whether it should be done by a fresh issue or existing shares, a promoter might be leaving a company. He would like to give his particular shares to those employees, and he might give it by form of a trust. He might trade or directly he might give it as a gift to his employees. Vesting, very crucial again in terms of time-based or condition-based. So time-based might be something like this. You will be getting ESOP if our organization completes another 3 years. So after 3 years, you might be giving that particular ESOP. Condition-based might be this. Provided our organization achieves a revenue target of this, or provided our organization achieves a profit, provided our organization achieves a revenue jump of 50% or 100%, you will be given this particular performance-based incentive as against the time-based related. So until unless, even though 5 years has passed, 7 years has passed, if an organization does not achieve that particular target, ESOP does not come into picture. Standard across board or for key people you can give. Frequency is very important. Many of them again make this mistake of annual or one time. So one time I am just giving, as on date I have 10 employees. I am saying that 10 employees ke liye I am having one ESOP policy. During the year there are another 2 or 3 employees who have joined. Now they are not eligible for this particular ESOP policy because it was a one time. So it needs to be an yearly affair where every single year you can make an ESOP policy, pass through a board resolution and include all your other employees related to this. Exit, Flipkart case or a standard where tag along clause was there. So whenever a promoter sells, the particular employee can also sell. IPO, very hardly we see startups moving into the IPO state. I'm sure Tile will be covering on what is the startup exits which we are getting at this point of time in the various markets. Or if there's no IPO, if the promoter can buy back or the company can buy back. So whatever shares the employee has, when he is leaving or exiting the organization, promoter might say that, okay, I'm ready to buy back your shares at a value which is given and I might pay you that particular amount. ESOP wealth creation is huge. So fair market value, excise price. Excise price continues to remain standard. It's your fair market value which can keep increasing over a period of time. I've just given an example for the taxation related benefit side of it. This is again very important when you're framing an ESOP policy with respect to vesting. If you have 5,000 shares, you can decide that every single year for next 3 years or 4 years, 25% can vest, which is nothing but 5,000 divided by 4. Every single year, 1,250 shares can vest. Or you can say that at the end of 4th year, all the 5,000 shares will vest. Both have different time implications related to this. So 100, 150, 225, 300, 400, benefit per option, 100 he's going to get. Total benefit when it is vesting across 4 years, he's going to have a benefit of 7,81,000. When it is across, at the end of 4th year, his benefit is going to be 15 lakhs. So this is again one more point which needs to be considered when vesting period needs to be done. Information deck, very, very crucial again. So you need to understand first the difference between a business plan, an information deck and a teaser. Business plan is the mother document, which will contain every single information about your company, about the industry related to it, which is functioning, competitors, analysis, every single thing. It is a 100-page document which naturally consultants prepare. You naturally can't give your business plan to an investor which you meet. Frankly, investors don't have more than 5 minutes to spend on. So he wants something which is really crisp, quick, related to it. So there's something known as information deck or an information memorandum or an investor presentation which we prepare. Now there are a lot of companies who prepare only an IM and not an BP, which is again very dangerous because during the meeting there will be investors who will go in depth, in toto for each of the line item explaining, and if you don't have your business plan backup, if you're straight getting into an information memorandum, you will be placed in a very dangerous zone. See, the important point of preparing an IM is not to get or raise funding. The important point is to move to the next meeting. If you don't get your second meeting, you're out. So first meeting always does not mean that you need to get funding related to it. So it's very important that your IM is drafted in a very pakka way. We have seen IM where lot lot of information. See, the investor naturally has first 5 minutes of attention is undivided related to it. So you need to present the entire IM, which is 17-18 slides in first 5 minutes, which is going to happen. I mean, maximum attention needs to be given. So initial 4-5 slides which you are having is very, very crucial slides. You can't be having a lot of market related ho gaya, promoter ke bare mein likh diya. You can't be having a lot of unnecessary information and then comes your problem statement. So it's very important that how you draft your investor presentation as well. So there are close to about 8 points which I have taken. Executive summary, how many slides should be there? These are all the points. So each of the points related I will explain. What is the purpose of this deck? Each presentation might have a different purpose. Something might be for raising funds, something for sale, something for merger related. So you need to mention your purpose very clearly. What is the problem statement? Most crucial thing is this problem statement. Each one of us at the end of the day after getting back home, please sit for 10 minutes to analyze what is your problem statement which you are going to target to the market. If you are not clear in this particular problem statement, rest of the things is not going to work out in any ways possible. You need to be very clear what is my problem statement. I take a very classic example of paper boat, which is each one of us know Hector Beverages when they came up. The biggest problem they had was Coke, Pepsi, Fanta, everyone is doing the concentrated drinks which is there. You don't have local flavor drinks, the Amras, the Jaljeera, the Imli related side of it. So they were very clear what is the target market is going to look like, what is the problem statement which they are facing, because there are none of the competitors, and when there are local competitors who are giving, it is of not of proper hygienic quality or drink related. So they got the very beautiful sachets related side of it, but drink was there. Challenges which you are facing, the market is facing, how you will be able to crack. Lot of market, the supply distribution chain challenge is the biggest challenge which we are seeing for many of our clients. Key partners, say example if government is one of your key partners, again need to mention that yes I have. Background is close to about 3 slides where you need to mention the target market size, both volume as well as value wise, opportunity which is there across geographies which is going to flow in, competition analysis where you need to give a synopsis of it, saying that I am one player. Either there can be 2 scenarios. There's an existing market which is there, you're targeting that particular existing market by grabbing market share, or you're altogether creating a new market for yourself. So first you need to identify which of the following you're falling into. Are you creating a new market, or are you going to grab existing market related share? So competition analysis, if there's already existing competitors, what they are doing, what we are going to do, and how different we are going to be from them. If you're targeting existing, you need to be very clear in one particular slide, this particular information needs to come in. Solution, again 2 slides. What is the problem which you had mentioned, how you are going to solve that particular problem. Scalability is something which is again looked very closely. An idea how scalable this is going to be. If it is just going to be in one particular niche area where it might not be scalable, they might not be interested as an investor. Your idea might be really brilliant, but if it is not scalable, you might not get an opportunity to work on. USP and your clients, reduction. So the first 6 slides should naturally reduce the risk and uncertainty in investors' mindset. The moment if he is able to frame that yes, by this time there's a problem statement, I have given a solution to it, I'm going to target related to it, I've reduced the uncertainty and value in his mind, that's going to almost be a deal sizer which is going to happen. Products and services, again 2 slides. Having mentioned your problem statement, having mentioned the solution which you are going to provide, how are you going to provide, through what products is again very important. What are the revenue drivers? Again say for an airline company, so getting revenue from passengers, getting revenue from cargo, advertisement, in-house during flight related entertainment. Now that does not become just 4 important key thumb. Each of these things you need to elaborate. So if it is say getting passengers, now how many flights you have, how many seats you have, what is the occupancy related to it, each of the segment, what is the ticket price and costing which you have to do. So if you don't have your business plan backing out all these things, your IM will fail. I mean, if you're going to explain, I'm going to target this much of revenue, I'm going to get this revenue, every year on year it is going to go 50% up, it's not going to work out. First meeting, lot of detailed breakup happen in terms of revenue drivers. Your entire business plan is prepared based on revenue drivers, entire. Every other cost is as a percentage of revenue. Every other single cost will be as a percentage of revenue. a lot of importance is given on revenue drivers as well. Your distribution channel and supply drivers, again, a product related company need to be very clear on how the supply chain cycle is going to work out, how many days it is going to take for them to turn around the entire working capital cycle. Product life cycle is very important. At which stage of cycle you are in? Are you an early entrant, or are you at a mature related industry, mature entrant you are going to enter into? Costing linked to revenue drivers, the moment, is it a volume game or is it a value game? Volume game might be pricing, might be very less. Value might be, we have one of our client in Tanjavur, where she is having a heritage resort. So in Tanjavur, you hardly have 6 or 7 hotels. In that she is targeting, and her price of per room related is close to 14,000 rupees. I mean, in Chennai, I don't think any star hotel even charges that. But she is very particular and adamant, because she sees that Rajasthan, if you go, there are foreigners who visit there, and you know, over there, any resort, they charge close to 14,000-15,000. The moment they come to Tamil Nadu, and if they see a pricing of 3,000 or 4,000, gone. Case is gone. Because the second competitor is charging 2,000 rupees per room. But she still continues to be at 14,000. Occupancy might be less, but you need to target whether you are cost driven or value driven on this. Business operation, very important, whether you are making one-time sale, or usage based, or subscription model, or licensing related. Reason why this is important: if you are making one-time sale, your revenue is not going to incur or recur all throughout the subsequent years. An investor feels very comfortable and confident when you tell him that my revenue is going to be the same year on year, because of recurring related side of model which you are following. So if you are able to give him that comfort, because if you are targeting a single sale model, then I mean you need to rush as many customers as possible to get them on board. Every single year you need to start afresh. So this is again very crucial. Your go-to-market strategy need to be very clear on how I'm going to target my market: online, Facebook advertisement, Twitter related side of it, pamphlets, how you're going to target, you need to be clear. Traction, in case you have already started your business, up and running related, you have provided the traction, there's already a product which is developed and is in market, it's going to add a lot of value addition when you're presenting it to the investor. Last 2 slides, human resources, management and other things. We are seeing a lot of them. I mean, there's no hard and fast rule or thumb rule that slides can be placed in a way or should be placed in a proper way. But we are seeing a lot of them presenting this in the first or the second related. I mean, I have seen a company which got funded only from the fact that they had someone in that company who had already, was part of a listed company, grown a particular division of that particular listed company from 20 crores to 800 crores. And because of her profile, product was okay, services, she was not clear on the supply chain distribution which is going to happen, but only of the fact that she has already proved and she has moved that particular product, from 20 crores to 800 crores, she was straight away given funding. So this can at times add value if you have some senior members in your advisory board in terms of bringing in. Financial planning, financial history, projection and key ratios. All 80% of the decks which I am seeing, I don't find majority of the information coming with us. They explain me to a great product, great cycle, how they are going to change the market, how different they are from. But when we get into details and how you are going to generate revenue, how you are going to become profitable, you don't have a clear answer. So you need to be very clear on how you are going to generate revenue related to this. Projections is very important for next 5 years. Key ratios, break even is again pretty important. 99% of the times I don't find this slide. They prepare an entire journey saying that how I'm going to do, what I'm going to do, which I'm going to do, which area related. But they don't tell that how much funding do you require for, how many years, how much monthly cash burn you are going to have, what is the leeway which you are having in terms of doing it monthly, and how are you going to give the exit to the investor who is coming into this picture. So which is very, very crucial. He needs to see that amount. If he is investing 20 lakhs, now when is he going to exit? 3 years down the line, 5 years down the line, 7 years down the line, no, swaha, kha gaya, paisa aaya and I have left. So you need to be very clear on the exit route which you are going to give and the terms proposed. So there are discussions which keep happening saying that, okay, there might be a chance that I need only 1 crore, but the investor might end up giving me 2 crores. So should I put my investor, requirement? There might be a chance that I might be giving him 20% stake, but he might be just asking only 15% in his mind. So should I be putting Be very, very clear. This is the amount you want and this is the stake which you are willing to do it at this particular stage itself. So recap, by a vision, value proposition, problem you need to target on, target market and opportunity you need to have, traction, validation, roadmap, marketing, sales strategy, revenue and business model, financials, team, investment usage and funds. If it is more than 20 slides, you need to rework. You just can't have an investment deck. More than 15 slides itself is big. I mean, I had one client who had just one slide. And he got his product to explain the entire 15 slide. There was, it doesn't work, it works only on a F to F, but if there is a mail communication or a prior intimation which needs to be given, you can have it. Gone are those days where someone comes and presents his product on live. Everyone presents on deck. So this is something different which you want to do it. Present your product, entire 15 slides can naturally get covered if a game changer kind of stuff. Thank you so much.